man of self-control, the info is plain. If you don't know, feel that energy flow right into your brain. Your whole game will change. So just retain, so just retain, so just retain. Real strong man of self-control, the info is plain. If you don't know, feel that energy flow right into your brain. Your whole game will change. So just retain, so just retain.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
Look at this. I'm like down here like this, so that I'm in the frame, because we're gonna do this energizing breath, and I'm gonna lie down and do it, and you're gonna sit up and do it. And that's why I'm like this. But I'm also showing off my Christmas material swag that I received, which was this hat. And I love being in the outdoors. And one of the reasons I love being in the outdoors is headlamps. And so this is a tube with a headlamp.
That's some serious material swag you got there, boy.
Very material swag. And it also lights up when my third eye is active.
So all the time. It should be on all the time. No?
When my sexual energy integrates with my third eye, it lights up. It's like, boom!
Wow, man, that's some device.
Yeah, man. All right, fellas. Welcome, everybody, to our live training happening every single Wednesday at whatever time it is that you're watching right now. So put it on your schedule. Make it a weekly habit. We're going to do energizing breath. I'm going to give you just a couple minutes here before we get into the practice to explain the practical application of this breath. How do you use it in your everyday life so that it actually serves you and helps you in your own personal journey? So first of all, it helps you stay away from stimulants, whether it's drugs, whether it's caffeine. Yes, caffeine is a stimulant. Whether it is, porn, whatever it is that you're doing to fuel that boredom.
Sugar.
What's that?
Sugar and energy drinks.
Yes, sugar, energy drinks. Whatever you're using to fuel the boredom, to get a quick little bit of, feel good. Oh, I'm bored, I'm agitated, whatever you're using to try to solve that, this breath can become the replacement of it. And once you learn it, you could do it anywhere. I used to, I work from home now, which is great, but I spent about 11 months working in an office, big corporation type setting. And I would go into the conference room, shut the conference room door, and I would do these breaths on my lunch break. And that's what would energize me through the afternoon while everybody was on their fifth cup of coffee and all hopped up and nervous. And I got to meet the deadlines and the boss is coming and they're freaking out about everything. Right? People would come to me and be like, why are you so calm? I said, because I'm not hopped up like you. I'm just not as stimulated as you are. And the way that I energize myself is through natural means. I've learned that the body has all kinds of ways that you can energize your body. And the easiest way is learning to use the breath in different ways and techniques. So that's what you're about to do. All right. So it helps you stay away from stimulants. It helps you stay away from the porn. It helps you stay away from these things. In the bedroom, the more energy you learn, the more that you can work with your breath, the more energy and oxygen you can flood through your system, the more energy you can hold in your system. This makes you more powerful in the bedroom. So when it comes to bedroom application, you can last longer because you literally have your blood is flowing better. And it's because your blood is flowing better, you're more present, you're more focused. You're also able to last longer. You're not clinching and just going for the finish line, but you can apply more tantric type of practices to the bedroom, which makes your love making more intimate, deeper. It's more satisfying, more connective. You are also much more in your masculine frame by keeping yourself energized. When you are indulging in too much laziness, too much sloth-like behavior, let's say, then you got to imagine that you are energy and you're stagnating that energy. Like, think water that gets stagnated, it's going to collect toxins, right?
Yeah.
So sedentary lifestyle is, keeps our energy and therefore our libido and everything down, our motivation down, everything down. So this breath can be used to increase your energy, which will increase libido, increase therefore motivation. And if you're directing that into your passions, your goals, your creative abilities, and not porn or some vice, right? Then you're ultimately using your sexual energy, your your basic motivation in a healthy, positive way to get things done, to provide, to protect, and therefore feel fulfilled as a man. And then this, of course, becomes the platform. You have to at least be doing this to then say, well, now I'm going to have higher spiritual and conscious realizations that I can, live by. I can live by higher principles to take me to a whole another level, right? You have to do these bare minimums of doing your basic duties and doing them very well. And so these breaths help you do that. Jake, you've been pouring your energy and stuff into your artwork. I know you've been talking about getting an album, like a devotional album you're working on, plus other projects. How have these practices helped you in your own journey of transmuting it into other aspects of your life?
Well, it's been doing exactly that, transmuting it into my creativity, which is a great help because, like you explained, I was getting stagnant energy before. I was still being creative, but at times I would get like cried out, overwhelmed, so much concentration, like when you're in the studio. And I was saying to you earlier, so many producers or people who work in the studio, they have like a Red Bull. They're drinking the Red Bull all day, energy drinks. Someone brings in a bunch of biscuits or whatever, and everyone's just like chocolates, and while working on the music or staying up all night, stuff like that. So yeah, because when you concentrate, it does get a bit overwhelming and draining. But with these practices, I've learned how to, as you said, when you were at work, I've been doing them at home, or just learn how to get my energy back and get my clarity back. So when you're feeling drained, you don't like just leave that project unfinished or like whatever. It's like you just kind of snap out of it, get your energy good, and then finish the project. So that's really been helping. I've been writing more, but also main thing, finishing stuff more, because I have the energy to like finish projects, which before I was really bad at, because not so much my nature. So I was just like, too tired to concentrate on all of that. So that's cool. And I really liked what you said about, what did you say about your masculine frame? When you can hold more energy, you're in a masculine frame. And I wanted to ask, is that like when we're not like that, when we're more stagnant, is that obviously why we look for external things to give us energy? And as you said, with a partner, is that why we then look to take energy from our partner rather than to hold energy and exchange and give energy? Is that why we want just a quick make me feel good for 5 minutes?
100%, because only when you're energized can you give energy.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not energized, you can't give energy. So therefore you become a take. You end up becoming you end up taking more than you're giving. And there's a natural thing called the law of exchange. We were talking a little bit about this before we got on, about the idea of like paying people for their services, paying people, making sure that, we're supplying. Why? Because even in like when people give, but there's no reciprocation coming back to them, eventually there's a drained out process. You're draining out. Now, this is why, for instance, as higher spiritual practitioners, we look to serve God, because God can always reciprocate perfectly. No human being will ever reciprocate perfectly with you. And as soon as we put an expectation that some human being is meant to energize me, you're looking for your energy from the wrong source. You should look to the source of energy for your energy, right? If you're looking for some partner, some other human being, some food, some drug to energize you, you're not going to the source of energy. When you're always linked and going to the source of energy, which some people call Krishna, and some people call Christ, and some people call God, and however you discover God in your life, or your source of energy and the source of everything, then you just stay connected with that. Then there's no need for it. Like, then you are with life, and with life is always moving. Life is not stagnant. Only the body needs rest, right? The spirit and the soul is constantly moving. That's why even when we sleep, the mind is going. Why? Because the soul is still going. It's still being energized. Energy is still flowing. It never stops. So the more that we can connect with that source, then we don't look to take from others. We look to serve others and give to others. And in that way, we actually have all support comes. Because here's a principle everyone should understand. Life supports life. Death supports death. You start doing things to bring death, more stagnation, more, lower consciousness all comes in. You do things to support life. You'll see money, friends, everything comes to support it, because life supports life, death supports death. So the more you're connected into that and getting your energy from source, then that's what these practices do. They connect us to our energy source, our real energy source. This whole mainstream culture right now tells you that you need this brand and that brand, or you need to look this way and that way. And yes, there's health, and then there's material looks. There's healthy, like to understand what real healthy living is not found through boxes and supplements and marketed things. It's found through real things that comes generally for free. But the reality is most of us don't value what's free. So that's why we have to pay for things to value it, right? That's why there's a money system and such. And so we can use all of this in our benefit. But anyways, I'm going on a bit of a rant here.
But it's it's good though. And I realize now that what's happening is more energy is flowing through my body. That energy is already available, as you say, from the source of all energy, but also within us. Like no need to, because I'm remembering my habits now. In between recording or writing, it would be like, oh, I think I need a biscuit or something, some sugar. And every time I would go and do that. And as you say, that just creates a bad habit of, it doesn't increase energy. It just means that every time in between a take or whatever I'm doing, I need to do that. Or I remember I used to try and reach out for some kind of affection in between. Oh, I'm doing all this work. Now I deserve to flirt with someone, something like that. But now it's just like, no, I don't need these external things to make me feel better. And they don't make you feel better. Actually, it just feels just as tired. If you do those things.
It's another form of, again, it's all going to we're trained in this world to go to the material places, to some vice, some sensual pleasure to energize or make ourselves feel good. But the more that we practice,
it's temporary.
That's right. The more that we practice self-discipline, self-control, Tantra, so take up some relationship with God, meaning the spiritual source of everything, then the more our consciousness and our bodies become spiritualized, in the sense of we're not looking for the world to give us anything. We get up every day and think, how do I serve the world? What can I do? Oh, I can build this business. You'll notice that you have to become really excellent at whatever you do, whatever gifts you have and talents and knowledge and the resources. You'll have to learn to engage it all to make yourself get to the next level, both materially or spiritually. And so that becomes more the game. So most people live unconsciously, and they play the game of how can I get up and how can somehow the world pleasure me, right? I can watch a good movie. I can have good food. I can drink good wine, blah, blah, blah. It's all like a consumption model. But those who have found a more energizing life and so you'll see that they are generally more thinking about how can I build something, create something, serve something. And that's proper use of sexual energy. Sexual energy is creative energy. So create, but if you don't create something of a higher nature, then all that creativity gets expressed as just raw lust. So always looking for sex, porn, some vice to satisfy the senses, to satisfy the body. But the body's never satisfied. Like, it's just no matter how much you do, it's all, in fact, the more you do, the more you want it.
Yeah.
When it comes to you in a more natural way, when it's like a reward. So for men who want a better sex life, the first thing to tell a man who wants a better sex life is stop thinking about sex and start doing what a man is supposed to do, and nature will reward you with a great sex life, but it'll come naturally to you. You're not seeking it. You're not chasing it. It comes to you, and it'll come in some arrangement. You know, God will make some arrangement for it to come to you. But the more you chase it, it's like chasing the butterfly. The more you chase money, the more you chase sex, pleasure, the more you chase it, the more it gets away from you. And even when you catch it, it's short-lived, it's not satisfying, and it's tasteless. Right? So therefore you seek it more. And that's the trap the world is in, you know, and I lived that life too, like everybody else. And then we're all just at different levels and degrees trying to unwind ourselves from these things. And so I think let's do it, man. Let's unwind with this energizing breath.
Yes, let's unwind right now.
So guys, by the way, if there's any comments or questions, say what's up, leave comments, leave questions, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to do the lying down version, and Captain Jake is going to do the sitting up version. Now, let me explain this quickly. So whether you're sitting up or lying down, don't do this standing up. If you've never done this type of breath, guys have passed out doing this type of stuff, okay? Nothing's dangerous is going to happen. You're just working with your breath. However, you know, you don't want to fall over or anything. If you're sitting up and you start to feel dizzy, stop, take your hands, place them on the floor until, you know, you feel good again, and then come back up. I mean, it's rare that these things happen, but you know, just in case. So here's the deal. You're going to place your hand on your belly, and you ultimately want to breathe through the nose. If the nose is blocked, you can do it through the mouth. But I really overall want everybody to train their nose to do their breathing, because that's how nature designed you. Let's use the body as it is. You know, I used to be a big mouth breather, still sometimes am. Not very attractive, right? right? Not just an attraction standpoint. It's just we're designed to breathe through the nose. The hairs begin to filter the air. It's part of the body's design. Let's use the body as it was designed for. All right. So let's breathe in through the nose. You're going to take a breath in, and then you're going to breathe out. So this can be called Kalapati breath in the yoga system, breath of fire. With your mind, place your mind in the center. And if you want to turn it up, if you've been practicing with us on this Wednesday live series, we did reverse breathing a week or two ago, where you learn to clench everything, all sides. So when you're breathing in, when you're exhaling out, it's not just your stomach that's exhaling. You're clenching your perineum. So like you're doing a Kegel clench, you're pushing the diaphragm down, you're squeezing in the sides. So you're with your mind, you're essentially tucking in the whole torso. Everything's engaging like a pump. And with your mind, it's like you're packing a snowball. Imagine you were packing a snowball in the middle of your stomach. So you're we're going to do this 36 times. Now, if all of that is too much, just focus on the, and you could just tuck in your stomach a bit, okay? 36 times. Then at the end, you're going to hold your breath a little bit until, you know, it feels right. And then you're going to release with a lion's breath, which looks like this. And if you're into hentai, which you shouldn't be, you know what that face looks like. All right. So here's the deal.
Just to check every time we're breathing in and out, yeah? So
that's right.
Is it?
The focus is more on the exhale, and the inhale is a bit more passive.
Mm-mm.
All right? Let's do it, guys. 36 times, all right? Okay, everybody take a deep inhale into the stomach, full deep belly breath. Exhale fully through the nose. Inhale and begin. Hold at 36. Imagine your snowball completely packed. You're squeezing the perineum, the pelvic floor, pushing the diaphragm down, squeezing the torso, all your awareness in the center belly. You can imagine fire burning there to help your mind stay in that spot. Lion's breath. Relax your body. Take all your awareness, place it into your body. Notice how you feel. Leave in the comments what you feel. Any tingling in the stomach, tingling throughout the body. Is your body generating more heat? Are you a bit hotter? Do you feel any pains anywhere? Tightness? Are your thoughts calmer? Jake, how are you feeling?
Feel quite a few of the things you said. I feel more hot. I feel clearer and more relaxed and energized, which is weird. You know, I actually feel both. I feel more relaxed, but I've got more energy to use. It was reminding me actually, because you were talking before about when people are at work, you know, they always go for a smoking break.
Yeah.
And the thing that feels good about smoking is that you take a deep breath. Yeah. Like, people think they have to use this stick to do it, but really the body has its own ways of, you know, take a deep breath, breathe in and out. It's a similar feeling that you can get from some external things temporarily, but you can do it naturally.
Yeah, that's a great point. The reason anything we can get externally, we can get internally. It's just that the external way we've been taught is it's the quicker way. We've been taught to look outside of ourselves instead of learn to use our body and to master our vehicles. This is our vehicle. We are not the body. We are not the mind. We are the soul, and the soul energizes it. It gives it life. If not, it's dead matter. What's valuable is not the skin, but the consciousness, right? That's what's valuable. But it doesn't mean that the skin should be ignored, or it doesn't mean that we shouldn't utilize the skin. We should utilize the flesh, the bone, the energies of the body, the sexual energy of the body, and utilize it for higher purposes, which gives us higher fulfillment. And the more we are fulfilled in our life, and the more we're connected to the spiritual reality of life, then the more we get our joy and our energy from the spiritual activities as opposed to the material activities. This changes the quality of, first of all, sex and sexual relationship, and we have more freedom in our sexuality. We're not fighting our sexuality, suppressing our sexuality. We're also not denying its existence and what it's there, or denying it, but it's an approach of it is what it is. most likely I will evolve out of it as I continue to evolve, like anything evolves out of something. But to deny it and to suppress it solely as a means, only it actually gives energy to it, because you're giving now negative energy. You're giving it
Mm.
attention. You're
Yeah.
feeding it in a negative way. And that's what's happening so much in the world. Outside of the bedroom, the more you're connected to these deeper spiritual realities, then the easier it is to focus your material body onto spiritual things and activities, which again are fulfilling for the soul, which automatically satisfy, the different senses within the body. And I'm no perfect at this. Someone asked the question, "Hey, Nicola, do you drink alcohol?" The answer is no, but occasionally at a gathering or something where it's the custom, because I hang around a lot of people who are, for instance, in the Christian tradition, they're going to have a little glass of wine. If the glass of wine is not meant to get drunk, it's a little thing like this, right? And it's meant as a sacrificial reminder, like how like in the Hare Krishna tradition, they serve prasadam, right? Blessed food. In the Christian tradition, they offer the wine, which is representative of the blood of Jesus, of blessing it. And that's what Jesus did. He broke the bread and blessed the wine. So in occasion, I may take something here or there for the occasion, but other than that, no, I don't drink alcohol. You want to learn to stay away from as much of any poison as possible. If there's some occasion or something that calls for it, then there's some maybe can exception might be made. But overall, the principle is that you want to keep your body as pure as possible, and not just from the physical things like alcohol or weed or but mental things like porn. Porn is a mental. It's a still consumption though. Social media is consumption, right? Like it's all consuming. The idea is, what are you here to create, not what are you here to consume. But as you create, there will be little pleasures that come naturally, because that's this life. It's like you don't have to try for it though. Again, the more you try for it, then the more you're missing the point, and the more you're looking to fuel your energy through artificial substance. It's what drives our modern economy. It's why they hate these type of teachings, because it unblocks you from the consumeristic material mindset that is ultimate the ultimate. That's the biggest poison in the world. And for modern men like us, who are not living in temples or living necessarily even quote unquote religious lives or anything, but we're in the world, we've got businesses and girlfriends and jobs, and we have to find some values within ourselves that we can rely on. We have to essentially create a church within ourselves, and learn to be a Jedi within this world, learn to work within the world, but do it in such a way where we continue to evolve and not get sucked down into this kind of materialistic life. Does that make sense?
Yes, it sure does.
Okay, I feel clear mind. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. The practice will clear your mind, will energize you. You can use it if you're going to go into the bedroom and you're going to go into the bedroom, do that energizing practice before or throughout the day. And you're going to notice that when you go in the bedroom, you're going to be able to last longer. Your nervous system's going to be more relaxed. You're going to be holding a more masculine frame, which is going to make you more attractive. And inside the bedroom, you're just going to hold yourself to a higher presence, which is going to make your intimacy and openness so much more better. Outside the bedroom, you do this practice. You're not going to need that cup of coffee. You're not going to need that stimulant. You're going to stay focused on your work. Instead of being able to do half an hour of answering emails, you're going to do an hour straight, and you're going to get 3 times as much done in that hour than most people. And you're going to be so much more ahead of the game that within 3 to 4 hours, you're going to have done all your work, your day's work. And now you can go into an abundance and make extra sales calls and make money. If you're in a career, advance your career. Remember, to be an advancing man, you have to first be advanced in your energy. So it means taking rest, but not too much rest. It means eating, but never overeating. It means taking what's sufficient, doing what's sufficient, but never less than what's sufficient, and never more than what's sufficient. And that's a fine it's a learning curve to learn that. And I don't know that you ever stop learning that. I just continuously refine it and refine it and refine it, you know? And maybe that's all the best we can hope for. But that's a process. It's a never-ending process. And that's what these practices do. They refine your energy and your life so that you use your energy as efficiently as possible. And now you have more time. Like a lot of guys complain, Nick, I don't have time to meditate. I don't have time to do the practices. I said, if you don't have time, is never an issue. It's energizing it's managing your energy. If you manage your, like for instance, I worked at a corporate job, but because I would use my lunch hour to do these practices, I still got my practices in. And then I got more done than most people quicker. And then I was only there for 11 months, and I was able to also implement a social media program for the company. So I became an asset for the company. If I wanted to stay in that environment, I could have asked for more money. Within a year or 2 years, I would have been advancing somehow because I would have been adding. The secret to abundance in all way is to add value to other people's lives. And you need energy to do that. And that's what God is always doing in your life. God is always adding value to you, but you have to be in a place to receive it and use it and utilize it so he can add more value to you, give you more. And how does he add value? He gives you bigger challenges and problems to solve. He asks you for bigger service. He asks more of you. Like a father who asks more of his son. The son that he trusts the most is who he gives the most value to. So how do you win God's trust? Be your word. Be a man of energy. Be a man of giving. Be a man of value. Be a provider, a protector. Then he will bless you with more responsibility. And with more responsibility, then you get all the stuff that you think you want anyways. The outward quality you're attracted to. The beauty, the fame, the money, the power, the renunciation, all this stuff, all the things that people are attracted to materially. It's because that's the qualities of God. He will give you those qualities. The closer you go to the fire, the hotter you become. The more you understand how to work in God's nature's laws, then the more spiritual you become, the more you're closer to the fire, the more those qualities just naturally are reflected in your life. But never go after them. That's the secret. It's like chasing the butterfly. How do you catch the butterfly? Be still, and the butterfly will land on you. Become attractive to the butterfly. So learn to be an attractor as opposed to a chaser. Yo, what is this? What is this comment here?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
For your information, something I don't understand.
Maybe it's a video or something. All right.
Yeah.
Soldiers, this is our last broadcast for 2021. On behalf of everyone at the Semen Retention Army. By the way, if you're not part of our emailing list, get on that emailing list. How do you get on that emailing list? You go and register for the free ejaculation control guide so you can start to learn the foundations of sexual alchemy and the practices inside the Semen Retention Army. We're sending out tips. We're sending out motivation. This is our last broadcast of the year. Then we're going to go into next year, our very first broadcast. So next week, we're going to do a sound workshop. And I'm going to show you different ways to use sound to clear your vibration, to energize yourself, and to develop focus and discipline in your life. It's going to be a great workshop. That's next Wednesday. And we're going to have our Sex Mastery signature webinar coming up on January 22nd. So be on the lookout for that. I wish you all, and everybody in the Army wishes you all, a happy new year and a prosperous new year and a new year of self-discipline and control. For the last time in 2021, soldiers,
Retain.
retain.